Hey there, welcome back to the show. Indeed, it's time for a geeky unboxing. That's right. It was my birthday a couple of weeks ago, and I treated myself to something I've wanted for a very long time. It's been on my Amazon wish list. Um, it, I've been eyeballing it, and I just came to the conclusion, hey, it's your birthday, kid. Why don't you get it for yourself? Because you want it and you deserve it. I'm a huge Robotech fan. Robotech is a 1985 anime show that chronicles three generations of Earth fighters that trying to protect the Earth from aliens using something called robo-technology, which is actually, the show itself are three unrelated anime that are just put together into a show. So you have super dimensional fortress, super dimension fortress Macross. You have super dimension Southern Cross, and then Genesis Climber Mospeeda, and those were your three generations in Robotech. They had nothing to do with each other. So, let's see, it's playing. Hopefully we don't get banned in Japan again. We never know, but one of my favorite things, my favorite mecha, one could say, is the Valkyrie, otherwise known as the Varitech. One of these. See, it's a giant robot, and it's a variable fighter. It transforms into a jet plane or a space fighter, and into something called Gurwalk mode, which is, it has arms and legs and the rest of the body of the plane, and then it turns into a giant robot as well. Here are a few of those right there. You can see Skull 1 and the red and the blue. That's Max and Miria. And Super Dimensional Fortress Macross had a feature release movie in 1984 called Do You Remember Love? And it took the 26 episodes, almost 13 hours of the anime show, and adapted it into a 2-hour-long feature release. It was released July 21st, 1984 in Japan. And it had a budget of 400 million yen. And its box office total was 1.8 billion yen. It's a smash. And it's set in its own kind of universe. It's an adaptation. So it's adapting 13 hours of story into a 2-hour-long show. And it keeps all the trappings of the Macross show, and it does a couple of things pretty differently as well. One of them specifically is Skull 1. Skull 1 is this one right here. See the skull and crossbones, Roy Fokker, the VF-1S. It's got 4 gun turrets on its head, and this is called the strike armor. It's got these 2 boosters, and it's got leg greaves and forearm attachments. So it's a booster armor, and it's full of little missiles as well, and so it's an advantage. But in the movie, the Skull 1, being the leader, the squad leader, it replaces one of the booster pods with a double-barreled gun pod. And I've seen this since I was a kid, and there was never any good model for them. I mean, or toy. You know, I saw a couple of import toys when I was a kid, but nothing I could afford. Nothing, you know, like bringing us to now, and being an adult and being able to afford import stuff. Oh, there's Maria, and that's Max, and the blue armor there. They fixed his. He got macronized. I love that. Blink and you miss it. That's what happened to Max and Miria in that adaptation. Max went with Miria, with the Melotroni. It just flipped that. You know, it was really cool. So Roy Fokker dies in this movie, as he does in the show, but a little differently. He sacrifices himself aboard. He sacrifices himself and his custom Skull One on the Zentrani ship so that Rick and Lisa can escape. So, so by the time the end of the movie comes, Rick Hunter, Ichijyo, Hikaru Ichijyo, otherwise known as Rick Hunter, he is now Skull One. And so we get to see his, in all three acts of the movie, in Act 1, Act 2, and in Act 3, the three acts of the movie, he has, you know, first he has his junior officer's version with the single gun turret. Then that's the VF-1A. Then he's given the VF-1J, which is the a senior officer's who's gotten two gun turns and the triangular faceplate. You can see him right here. You see that? The red and the blue, they got that two guns. And the VF-1A, it has the one barrel there, and it's got a square, like, eye plate. And then if you notice, the VF-1S has four cannons and has a very unique head. And there's only one VF-1S. And that's for Skull One, and that's for the ace, for the squadron leader, and that is the officer. That is the commanding officer pilot's version. And in this movie, only Skull One has the double-barreled gun pod. We ready? We're going to do an unboxing. This came from Japan. Yeah. I already opened it. I had to check it out. What's in the box? What's in the box? All right. Pretty happy that it's in scale with this one here. This is a 1/100 scale, so these are the same size. So this is Rick Hunter's VF-1S, and his colors is red and black, and he's earned the squadron leader. And this has the gun turret. Instead of the double booster, it has the officer's gun turret. And this, it cost a pretty penny. It really did. But it's an import. And I love it, but also I'm a little underwhelmed with it too. I thought, because, okay, it's not as pret-a-porter, ready to go as I thought it would be. So we're going to open her up. So I'm kind of thinking about, maybe keeping it in the box and not putting it on display. And yeah, all the instructions here are in Japanese, but they're picture instructions, so I know how to transform one of these from transforming many of these toys as a kid. And it shows you the little parts that come with it and how to trick out your Valkyrie. And it's got a couple of display modes with different hands, ways to hold the gun pod, and different ways to put the wings as well. You could have the wings out, like usually they're swept back, you know what I mean? So they're not sticking out. But then you can have missile pods for it as well. So yeah, here we are. Here is my new little buddy here. And one thing I'm a little disappointed in, though. Oh, here's so here, there's that gun pod. That's what you're talking about. That's the whole kit and caboodle for me. That little gun pod thing. But there's only 2 pieces here, so I thought there was more. But notice how that they're on like a model frame. So you're gonna have to cut them off depending on which ones you want to use. Those are specifically for the head cannon. But also you can see we've got a couple of different hands here. Here's the gun pod. But we've got you see, that's where you would put the wings. They'll go behind here. So we can either have them out, so we can put like these ones here, so you would have the missile pods here from this on it. So yeah, just a little bit of assembly required to trick her out. And it's also fully transformable as well. So you would have to pop off the skull thing. This thing comes, you know, covers the canopy, the cockpit. And so it's in plane mode. You're going to want to use the window canopy itself. And there's a pilot inside there too, with the distinctive Do You Remember Love space armor. So yeah, this is my Do You Remember Love 1984 Hikaru Ichijyo's, otherwise known as Rick Hunter. Never seen in the Macross TV show, only in the feature-length 1984 movie. This special edition here. And it's really cool. So like, hey, that was never in the show. You're right, it was never in the show. This is unique to its movie. And so I think I'm going to keep it in the box for a while. Until I figure out, you know, what to do with it. Where to put it. A little maxed out for space. But yeah, I wanted to do a geeky unboxing of my birthday present to myself. It was more than $100. It was more than $200. Put it that way. But I've wanted this for a very long time. And I got mine. Hey, look, it's Max and Miria and their quadrilaterals. You can tell because one's red, one's blue. That's like their distinctive, you know, iconic colors. And see, in the TV show, in Macross, aka season 1, or the first generation of Robotech, Max and Missy Miria joins the SDF-1 crew and becomes part of, she falls in love with Max, and they live happily ever after together as part of, the Macross team. But here, and it's flipped in this movie, where Max ends up with Miria still. But on the other side, oh, and here it is. This is what I'm talking about. This is, you see the red and the black? The distinctive head of the squadron officer, the squadron leader's VF-1S. And he's got the double-barreled gun pod instead of the 2 boosters. Love it. And thank you so very much for tuning in and enjoying. Hopefully you've enjoyed my unboxing. Now I have 3 Valkyries. 3 Macross Valkyries. Yeah, this is called High Metal R. This is a Tamashii Nations. This is by Bandai. Tamashii Nations. So this is like a very high quality model. It's not a toy. I don't play with these things. Navy. Pew, pew, pew. Zip, zip, zip. Here you go. But yeah, I've got and I'll probably end up getting a couple of more Valkyries as well. There's like a 3-pack, I know, of the old Vermilion Squadron that has Rick's VF-1F, VF-1J, and Max and Ben's VF-1As. Because I want to get a quadrillion row of Miria. I can get a model of that. And I've always wanted a Max and Miria shelf. But I've always wanted this too. And so yeah, this has been my unboxing. I got a VF-1S Strike Valkyrie. The movie version with the cool ass gun pod. I've always wanted this. And I got mine. Finally. Because I deserve it. And it was my birthday. And this is truly a present. I don't know what it is. I was like, oh, you're a little whacked for, wow, grown man buying toys. No, it's not a toy, it's a model. It's a beautiful display model, and it's meant for a fan like me. Thank you so very much. Please like and subscribe. I would love to earn your subscription. We make lots of content here, geeky content. We talk about movies. We talk about comic books a lot. We also talk about spirituality and cooking. And so this has been my unboxing of my birthday present to myself. A very unique, special Macross Valkyrie from the 1984 movie, Do You Remember Love? Cool stuff. Thank you so very much. Please like and subscribe. And we will see you again with more videos in the future. God bless, namaste, good luck, and cheers. We'll see you in those funny pages. Ciao. Bye-bye.